The views expressed during this show are those of fictional characters and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of WebAble TV.
The camera pans up to show a man sitting in a hotel room.
Mr. Helper, grab.
Hello.
Okay. Stand up. Move around.
Hello.
There we go.
Are you filming or taking a photo?
I'm filming.
All right.
We're getting a little glare off your shirt. Can you take your shirt off?
A montage of California scenery, a hotel, a viewing pond, Billy and Karl walking through a hotel lobby, a view of the San Diego harbor with the SS Midway, Stevie Wonder exiting a hotel, title screen, the Viking and The Lumberjack. Billy and Karl are sitting at a table.
I don't remember last time we were in Costa Rica, big 5-liter bucket of beer.
Barely.
And
Barely.
Yeah, you remember more than I do. Trust me. You're taller. That's what I'm going to attribute it to. Okay, but we were talking about rebranding accessibility.
Right. And how we left off by talking about accessibility in the real world and how it'd be kind of cool to look at the ways that we're actually using accessibility features in our day-to-day lives.
Yes, exactly. Because as part of rebranding, we could also just sell this as a way of saying, look at all these other ways we use accessibility for other things.
We're already doing it, right?
Yeah.
Actually, that reminds me. Check this out. I was in the subway in Toronto.
Uh-huh.
And look at this. A photo of people walking up a ramp. These guys are actually walking up the ramp instead of going up these 3 tiny steps.
Oh, yeah, that's convenient, that nice ramp.
very.
And those steps are treacherous. Actually, that reminds me. Check these guys out.
A photo of 2 men approaching an opening door.
The doors are opening. It's like magic. They're wizards.
They are wizards. Or maybe they're pushing that little button off to the side there.
Or it could be the button.
You know, that reminds me, Karl, of my favorite all-time real-world accessibility feature that we all use in our day-to-day lives. Entitled jerk parking. A pickup truck towing a jet ski parked across 3 disabled parking spots.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually more of a bug than a feature.
Good point. I guess really the takeaway then is that we screw up implementation as much in the real world as we do on the web.
Yeah, actually imagine if they really did that. Imagine if implementation in the real world was as bad as it is on the web. You know, so on the web we see people making things look like stuff, like specific controls on the web that they're really not.
Like a div as a button.
Ooh, we can do that.
We've never even heard of that before. Who would have thought?
So imagine this. Imagine we had like a roll equals door.
Here we have Billy and Karl making a fake door on the wall, outlining it with tape, putting on a fake doorknob, putting a sign on that says door. Man walks up, hits the door, and bounces off.
That was awesome. Imagine if we made like art galleries the same way they implement like photo galleries on the web. With like 0 alt text.
Right, yeah.
Just walls and walls of empty frames.
Yeah, that actually reminded me, like a real-world keyboard trap.
What would that look like? A stop sign with a no left turn, no right turn, no going back, and no going forward signs underneath it. So, how long were you actually sitting at that stop sign before you realized
I just got out of the car and walked away.
Yeah, just Control Alt Delete.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever the car version
is.
Exactly.
Just like closing the browser, whatever that looks
Control,
like.
I think you just AAA.
Yeah.
Man, okay, so you were like stuck somewhere and you couldn't get out of it.
Couldn't go.
Let's look at the other side of that. What if you were trying to go somewhere and you ended up somewhere completely different? Like that time you were... Karl rushes to the bathroom and opens the door. He's suddenly transported outside. A pained expression appears on his face and Karl looks startled.
Yeah, that was just
Crappy.
Yeah, but you see what I mean? It really doesn't take much to either make or break an experience entirely.
Yeah, of course. Especially when you start messing around with like ARIA, right? Because that...
Yeah, it doesn't take long to go from way ARIA to why ARIA.
Why ARIA? I like the sound of that, you know?
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to wait till the next time.
All right, until next time then, I'm Billy Gregory.
I'm Karl Groves.
And we're the Viking and the Lumberjack. Outtakes are shown.
Oh yeah, that was crap.
That's fine.
Well, they'll just wait till we start talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just try it. You know what else? Can you imagine?
Yeah, well, that's actually more of a feature than a bug. Sorry, wait a minute. I said that backwards. Yeah.
How long did you actually wait there before you moved?
Yeah, so, I mean, people were paralyzed. They just didn't know.
Yeah, maybe paralyzed.
That's a bad word.
All right, that was pretty good.
Yeah, I like that. We'll go with that one.